For those of you that are wondering, yes, I am a fan. I'm a fan of the original Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario. But I honestly don't feel indifferent about Sticker Star. The series all started for me from Super Paper Mario, actually. My dad bought me a copy, and I thought it was a normal platforming game, and then I got into it and got stuck at Chapter 2. Then I used to see some videos around, and they got me interested, so I started Thousand Year Door right as the GameCube was about to die off. Finished Thousand Year Door, loved it, played the original, and loved it. Was hyped for Sticker Star. I really wanted another Paper Mario game, and now that I heard that it was on the 3DS, man, that made me ecstatic. I saw that Party Members was coming back with a green toad. I'm like, ooh, what can we do with a green toad? But then my hopes got quickly dashed after I found out exactly how Sticker Star was laid out. Will this be a Sticker Star 2? Or will this be its own game? Let's find out. So the story starts off by Peach and Toad visiting Mario with a letter from the castle that seems to have a toad drained of its color. For some reason, Mario knows where this place is from the postage stamp that's on the back of the toad's head. It's from the world-renowned Prism Island, known for its color and beauty across the land, which we have never heard about and probably never will hear about ever again. So, Mario, Peach, and Toad decide to visit this island. When they arrive at Port Prisma, the tourist attraction that is, they see that it's more like a ghost town with various paint missing from all over the place and not a single inhabitant in sight. So Toad thinks it's a good idea to go and see if anyone's here, while Mario and Peach decide to see if they can get the fountain up and running, which they do. Sort of. They get the hole opened up and they meet a new character named Huey. After Huey explains himself that he's a Ken and all that, and you guys should know me, but y'all don't, they hear Toad scream off in the distance and they go help him. As soon as they see Toad, they see a shy guy with a straw sucking the paint out of him, essentially taking away his life with a straw, which is pretty darn dark if you think about it. He's sucking out all of his life with a straw. Isn't that a bit weird? But I guess they wanted to go for a more darker tone for the beginning, but trust me, it lightens up far brighter than that later on. So, with Toad's dying breath, he gives Mario the cards he's going to need for the battle cards. And then Huey says, hey, don't you have any paint? You need paint to use these cards. And so Huey turns into a 2D character by letting Mario wring out all the paint out of him, essentially just turn him from a 3D can into a 2D can. Allows Mario to fight the Shy Guys and then carry on. Huey decides, hey, you guys are new around here. Why don't I show you around? The fountain is beautiful, which they try to tell him that the fountain's dried up and all. They was like, yeah, that's impossible, even though it's possible in this game. Then Huey asks Mario can he helps out and get the missing paint stars. So Mario agrees to help him out, and that's our quest. Essentially, we do just that until we get to the Crimson Tower. Once we reach the Crimson Tower, we see that there's 3 toad-shaped holes with key teeth on their head. Now our quest is changed to go find these toads and see if they can help us. Once we find these toads are absolutely downright broken. So they're essentially super toads, if you can call it that. I call it a different Super Saiyan toads. They can shoot Ki Blast, they can use psychic powers, they can use telekinesis, and they can even fly. I don't know why they don't fly us behind the door to the tower or to the paint star or even fight the boss for us. But they are essentially just keys to the door and they get stuck in the door for the rest of the quest, which is pretty lame. Funny, but pretty lame. once we get in the tower, we see that Morton's climbing the tower also after we repainted it. He doesn't recognize Mario until we get to the top, and then he decides to knock us. He decides to fight us. Gets his butt kicked. We get the big star, and then we find out that Peach is kidnapped by Bowser. Again, the star shows us that Bowser himself actually threw all the paint stars away while he was in black paint mode and all that. And then after we get that information, it makes us a bit more stronger by giving us health, and everyone parties because this is the perfect time to party. The princess got kidnapped, right?
The other thing that rescuing the big paint stars does is shows you glimpses in the past, which kind of really doesn't help because right off bat, you can tell how this story is going to play, which makes it predictable. But it shows you what Bowser has done while he's coated in black paint. It shows him that he threw all the big paint stars to the corners of the island, and he essentially sent a letter to you just to lure Peach out. Think about this. He sent a letter to us, knowing Peach would come, so he essentially put himself on a death threat because he knows that we're gonna win. When does Mario ever lose and not come back and beat him? I don't get what he was going through, but maybe because he's really possessed. He's possessed by the black paint. I'm guessing the black paint thinks he's all powerful and he's just big shot. So he's like, yeah, I don't even think Mario can take me. I still want Peach since I'm in Bowser's mind. I still want Peach right now. So she even notices that he's a bit possessed. He's like, yeah, this isn't a Bowser move. But the thing that strikes me odd is how can she tell that it doesn't feel like Bowser, but none of his minions, none of his hundreds of thousands of minions can tell that this man is under some control. And it's honestly sad. Not Kamek, not even the Koopalings. His son's not in this game, so it wouldn't really count. She's only been kidnapped twice in this series. 3 times if you actually count Paper Jam. Are you telling me that no one's close to Bowser? Man, how does he get along with his minions? I thought he honestly had a good relationship with them, but in this game it tells me that that's the opposite case. As for the visuals, I absolutely love this game's art style. Everything looks like it's been made in an arts and crafts room. Kind of like those shoeboxes that you made in elementary school. But as for the character models, I like how they look. I just wish that they weren't all similar to each other. Kind of more costumes. Say like in the dig site. Why aren't any of the toads wearing helmets? Or while you're in the kitchen, why aren't any of the toads essentially wearing any cookware? They're all just normal toads, and that's pretty boring. Music isn't too shabby either. The game doesn't really rely on one instrument, such as the saxophone in the last game, and it goes for more atmospheric to the area, such as a haunted hotel or exploring a temple. But some of them just don't sit right because I think they loop after 30 seconds.
So, gameplay boils down to 2 different points: in battle and outside of battle. In battle allows you to battle the enemy. As soon as you touch them, you can first strike them, or they can first strike you and do damage beforehand. Unlike in previous Paper Mario games, mainly the first 2, where you could actually choose which enemy you want to attack on a jump attack, or if you had, say, hammer throw badge, you can choose to attack what person you want to throw your hammer at. This game, you are forced to attack the first enemy unless you have multi-attack cards. This is a problem when the game likes to put various of enemies in the back line, so you're forced to use your multi-attack item. And using multi-attack items uses a lot of paint unless you have them pre-painted. That's not really a problem having them pre-painted. You have to buy them or find them on the shop, but buying cards is pretty easy because you get money very, very quickly in this game. I got to the max before the end of area 2. So money's very plentiful in this game. Don't worry about that. But it's also pretty easy to spend in this game also. Reasons why I don't like this is essentially I was on the phone once. I had a phone call, so I'm like, all right, like the other turn-based games, I can just sit here, have my phone call, and nothing will happen to me. Well, I was wrong because this shy guy decided to take one of my cards, which essentially made sure I was gonna lose a card at the end of the battle because I couldn't immediately attack him. I think that simplifying an already simple battle system was stupid. Shy Guys also decide to do it pretty randomly. It could be probably about 20 seconds when you have a very large deck and you're trying to find the cards that you don't want to keep at the moment. So I find this to be a way of making me use two cards instead of one. Good thing is this rarely happens because you don't fight Shy Guys all the time in a game. You become stronger somewhat by getting upgrades with your paint hammer by defeating enemies and getting these small little hammer icons. You also can upgrade your health by defeating bosses, and the big paint star will reward you. The only way to beat bosses in this game, well, mainly the Koopalings, because those are the only bosses you really have to defeat to get extra health, is by having a certain thing item. If you don't have the certain thing item, this boss is essentially unbeatable. I mean it. But don't worry if you walk into the boss without it. Don't worry at all, because guess what you can do? You can just simply run away from the boss. Just press flee and you can just run. No problem. Kind of ruins the immersion of the boss itself. And the boss will have a comment that's kind of funny to read. It's like, oh, you're back. That's how I like you. It still ruins the immersion. And I wish bosses wouldn't have thing things that makes them weak that you have to have in order to beat them. There's supposed to be a test for us instead of waiting for them to throw their trump card so I can throw a counter trump card so I can win. Pretty boring. I simply just use normal attacks to attack them until they pull out their trump card, and then I win. And it doesn't feel fun. Now that we got the main gameplay under our belt, let's talk about the things you're not doing when you're in a boss fight. Simply walking around and exploring. Why I like exploring for about 90% of the game, talking to toads, well, talking to any NPC. Sometimes it's not toads, but that's kind of rare. Talking to people, finding out, helping them out, letting seeing various of humor they have. Exploring in certain areas, say like Spikefield Temple or maybe a lava filled area, is probably the most frustrating part that I had. Unlike in other games where if you touch an hazardous object, you only lose about 1 or 2 HP. That's fine for me. In this game, I don't know why, they decided to crank that up by 11. When you touch a spike, you get hit with 12 damage every time you mess up. When you touch lava, you get hit with 30 damage. That's not fair. Honestly, you get punished super hard for touching something when it used to be, oh, I made a mistake, because plenty of people make mistakes. I almost got a game over because of this. Speaking about game overs, I got game overs by instant kill scenarios that weren't a part of boss fights.
Why I indeed like this game. I just wish that it was a bit better. so to say, kind of human in nature, if I would say so myself, which it had better story, better gameplay. All I really felt like I was doing was walking around. That's all I was really enjoying is some of the humor, which I can recommend this game, but it wouldn't be for what I would say the best. I say humor is suggestive. So what I can conceive as funny, none of you guys can conceive as funny. Just saying, like pudding. Not really funny, but some of you guys might be laughing out there. So, with this game, I feel that it wanted to be Sticker Star 2.0, which it does succeed in. It does bring in pointless abilities that weren't meant for it, like the cutout ability. I swear Sticker Stars was better, implemented at least. But in this one, I feel that it was more clunky and was added just for it to be like Sticker Star. Other than that, the graphics are good. Really, just walking around is good. That's all I can give. If I can I recommend this game? Yes, but I would say a price cut. I say a price cut to about 45, $50 is the most you should spend on this game. One, because it barely has any replayability. There's no extra save file. There goes one. There's no optional bosses, unless you count the Rochambeau, but those are simply random the way you can win. I actually won my first one by only picking scissors, by the way, if you guys want to know. But if you really want to count that as a super boss, okay. Honestly, instead of spending $60 on this, I recommend in the eShop you can actually pick up Paper Mario for $10. Or you can pick up Super Paper Mario for $20. I recommend Paper Mario for one, it has a better story in my opinion. And it has much better gameplay if you're looking for that more RPG feeling. I recommend Sticker Star for the best story in the series, my opinion, and some platforming-esque gameplay if you just want to feel like you're in an actual Mario game. But that's all I can say for you for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and see ya. This has been YoshKen, the YoshKen. I'll see you guys in the next one.